Joker, Folie Deux has made headlines, but not for the reasons anyone expected. After a disappointing opening weekend, the film experienced an even more devastating blow in its second week, dropping a record-breaking 81% at the US box office. That's right, an 81% plunge. It's officially the steepest second weekend drop for a comic book-based film in history. And not just that, it's now ranked among the top 20 steepest drops for any film, period. This kind of drop is a major red flag for any movie. But for Joker Folie Deux, it's especially shocking, given the massive expectations surrounding it. Let's rewind a bit. Before the movie even hit theaters, the hype around Joker 2 was through the roof. Fans of the original Joker, which took the world by storm in 2019, were eagerly awaiting this sequel. After all, the first film became the highest-grossing R-rated movie of all time, pulling in over $1 billion worldwide. It was a cultural sensation, and Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of Arthur Fleck, the man who becomes the Joker, earned him an Oscar for Best Actor. It was dark, gritty, and captured audiences with its psychological depth and intense storytelling. But something was different with Joker, Folie Deux. Despite high anticipation and the addition of Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, the film struggled to gain traction from the start. Its opening weekend in the US brought in just $38 million. Now, to put that into perspective, initial industry predictions had Joker 2 pulling in somewhere between $50 to $70 million, so even the opening weekend already set off alarm bells. It was far below expectations. And then came the second weekend, which was nothing short of brutal. The film's earnings plummeted to just $7 million from over 4,100 theaters. That's an 81% drop, a figure that very few films have ever reached. To give you an idea, only a handful of movies in history have seen declines this sharp. The Marvels, for example, had held the previous record for comic book films with a 78% drop just last year, but now Joker 2 has taken that unfortunate crown. The reasons behind this steep drop are being debated, but the consensus seems to be that the film just didn't connect with audiences. Unlike the first Joker, which was a dark and gritty psychological thriller, Folie Deux took a different direction. This time, it incorporated musical elements, which might have caught fans off guard. The blend of musical sequences with the traditional dark tone of the Joker story created a confusing mix for many viewers. For a character like the Joker, known for his chaos and madness, throwing in musical numbers felt out of place for some fans and critics alike. Speaking of critics, the reviews haven't been kind either. Many describe the movie as boring and startlingly dull. Ouch. For a film that was supposed to be one of the biggest releases of the year, that's not the kind of feedback you want to hear. While Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga both put in strong performances, it wasn't enough to save the film from a critical drubbing. Gaga, in particular, was seen as a high point, with some praising her unique take on Harley Quinn, but even her star power couldn't lift the overall perception of the movie. Another major issue is the budget. Joker 2 was made on a reported $200 million budget, which is a significant leap from the $55 million it took to make the first Joker. Given that the original Joker grossed $248.4 million globally on its opening weekend alone, this sequel was expected to be a massive hit. But so far, Joker, Folie Deux has only managed to pull in $165 million at the global box office. That's a far cry from what it needs to even break even, let alone turn a profit. Comparatively, the original film had a much smaller budget and went on to gross over $1 billion, making it the first R-rated movie to ever hit that milestone. So what happened here? How did a film with such high expectations miss the mark so badly? One factor could be the direction the film took. While the first Joker resonated with audiences due to its intense psychological drama and Phoenix's mesmerizing performance, this sequel attempted to blend that dark tone with musical elements, which was a gamble. Some moviegoers may have been intrigued by the idea, but the execution left many feeling disconnected. It's clear that the mix of genres didn't pay off in the way the filmmakers had hoped. Another possible factor is the competition in the box office landscape. With other major films, particularly superhero movies like Deadpool 3 and Wolverine, dominating headlines, Joker 2 may have struggled to hold its own. In today's crowded movie market, even highly anticipated films can get overshadowed if they don't perform right out of the gate. The first Joker benefited from being a fresh, standalone take on the comic book genre, but this sequel may have lacked that same novelty and shock factor. It's also worth mentioning the role of word of mouth. While the first Joker had overwhelmingly positive buzz that drove people to the theaters, Folie à Deux has struggled with negative feedback. When people hear that a film is boring or doesn't live up to expectations, it can discourage them from spending money on a ticket. And with ticket prices being what they are, many potential viewers may have opted to wait until the film is available to stream rather than risk being disappointed. So, where does this leave Joker Folie à Deux? Well, the film still has some time to recoup its budget, especially through international markets. However, the chances of it reaching the same heights as its predecessor seem slim at this point. And with the competition heating up, it'll be an uphill battle. What do you think? Was Joker 2 too much of a departure from the original? Did the musical elements throw you off? Or was it just a case of high expectations that were impossible to meet? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates from Hollywood movie news.